Howdy, everyone. Tad Stevens on the Micro Success Secrets podcast, where we focus on business, psychology, and marketing, and how you can use that in your business daily and long term. Today, I'm talking with Alden M. Porter III, who's a financial professional, published author, documentary producer, and small business advisor. After retiring from his Fortune 10 career, he decided to go into the business of helping others. His focus as a business advisor is finding ways to increase revenue and profit, often without recommending any additional capital spending. He concentrates on the small business community. And Alden, welcome to the show, and let me know if I missed anything.
Oh, hey, thanks, Tad. I really appreciate you inviting me. No, you didn't miss anything, my friend. Well done. I appreciate the introduction.
All right, super. Well, let's get into it. First question, always start with this one. I think it kicks off the interview in the spirit that we're looking for here and to help people out, is if you could go back in time and you could pick one business or life decision that you would change. First off, would you change it? And second, if you would change it, what would you change it to?
Great question, Tad. Thanks. So honestly, all my major decisions I made, I wouldn't change a thing because they made me the man I am today. But
exactly.
I understand the spirit behind your question, Tad. I get it. And, probably the most recent impactful decision I made is when I retired from that Fortune 10 corporation. I did what everybody does, right? I was blessed to have a pension. So I took a pension, got a percentage from my wife that she gets, when I pass away. It's sort of a typical thing that people with pensions at large corporations do. And I didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But since I left that IT career, I've learned so much that I would have done it differently, right? Because I've reinvented myself into a financial coach, to go along with my lifelong career of being like a business advisor. And I learned a ton. And I would have just done it a little bit differently. Again, I didn't do anything wrong and I'll be perfectly fine, right? But I got more education after the fact instead of ahead of the fact. In fact, that's why I'm a financial coach now. I want people to know those things.
Okay, that is super. And just to let you know, is that is by far the most common answer I get. Is people really wouldn't change things. They may have done something a little more, a little sooner. I get that. And honestly, the funniest one I ever got was a guy told me, said he would have invested in Apple when it first came out, which I thought, yeah, okay, I probably.
Yeah, I think that's a great decision. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I'd be surprised if you got different answers, Tad, because, you seek out people like myself where, we're probably more positive than a lot of people.
No, and absolutely. And you hit it right on the head, is that you are more positive than a lot of people and you're doing something that you love more than
absolutely.
A lot of people. And so you wouldn't change anything because if you did, like you said, you wouldn't be where you are today. So
absolutely.
Exactly. So let's go back and let's look at possibly see if we can find another decision where things worked out just super positive. So, like you divide your life, or you can divide your life, or how you look at yourself, and, everything that happened before that, everything that happened after that decision. Do you have one of those?
Oh, I absolutely do. So on a personal note, getting married was definitely my best decision I ever made, coming up on 36 years. Love my wife Ginger to death. And that, along with all my other decisions, has made me the man I am today, right? But, I got to tell you, super positive was the launching of my coaching business. So when I was in my IT career, my job was to be an IT relationship manager. And what I did is I managed the relationships between the corporate IT organization and different parts of the business organization that needed to consume or get IT services, new services, that kind of thing. And right. So at one point, in fact, I was trained to be like an external consultant, like a Deloitte or a PwC or something like that, to work inside the company, but I was trained to act like an outside the company kind of person. Big corporations, they get set in their ways, kind of, right? No one's ever heard of that, right? But when I did a transferable skills analysis, it's like, man, going into coaching was the smart move. I mean, it made perfect sense. I always kind of thought I wanted to do that when I left that IT career anyway. And it's worked out wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Not only do I truly love what I'm doing, I am just thrilled that I can impact any business in a significant way when I meet with them.
Super. Excuse me. So kind of related to that, if you could look back, do you have one decision that was the scariest?
I just don't look at life that way. I mean,
I love it.
I've been down and out a lot, brother. I don't want to imply that, life has been smooth sailing, by no means. But I guess, my parents and my mom specifically, raised me to be eternally positive. And so even when I'm, in a situation, just like everyone else, I'll get down for a while, but I don't think I stay down very long.
Okay. Well, this may be a great next question then, is when you come to those decisions that might be scary or might be, require, you think, more thought, or big decisions, can be little decisions, can be big decisions, but what do you do to help you through a decision? And it can be something as small as writing an email that you don't want to write, or as big as changing careers. Do you have a method or anything that you use to help people or yourself work your way through those decisions to the other side?
Well, I've always enjoyed a large variety of tasks in my workday. And that's why I have two major lines of business now, right? Financial coaching and small business advising. Because if I get stuck on one of them, I can kind of go to the other one. There's always plenty to do, right?
Right.
So, and they're similar in some ways in that I need to interact with people and I'm teaching. That's at my heart, I'm a teacher. That's what I do. I teach people this stuff, right? But they're very different worlds, so to speak. And so that kind of helps a little bit in my personal life as well, right? Having a variety of different things. Like I love to read fiction, nonfiction. I play Scrabble on my iPad, right? Once my grandson's older, we'll play Scrabble in person, right? That kind of thing. To just, I kind of, when I'm stuck or pondering something deeply, I try to let it simmer a little bit without direct thought or concentration on it. Before, if I'm stuck. And then I'll go back later and see what, kind of simmered beneath the surface. And often I'll get a new perspective. A lot of times I will do just tons of research. Now, you can't believe everything you see on the internet. You can believe me. I promise. You can. Okay. But you can't believe everything you see on the internet. So, I choose a variety of different sources to get information. I don't, so I'm a quick decision maker. But I've learned over my lifetime, now that I'm a little more seasoned, I'm a little less quick than I used to be because I look for more information. Of course, there's more information available these days than where I was 30 years ago, right? So.
Okay, well, excellent. So I want to kind of move to wrapping up here, and this is more of a personal look, is, what is it that gets you going in the morning, keeps you going through the day? Why do you do what you do? Or to say it kind of colloquially is, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What's your passion?
Tad, I believe I've been blessed way more than I deserve, to steal from a popular financial guru, that phrase, right? And I really, really enjoy everything I do. And that's what gets me up in the morning. Believe it or not, even though I quote unquote retired from my IT career, I still get up at 5:30 most days.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm online and I'm doing stuff, and I'm very passionate about helping others. And that's probably my primary motivation, is when someone can cut through all the hype, because we're all under constant hype all the time, right? And sort of sit down and get to know me and see the knowledge that I've gained over my lifetime that I want to share. It's very impactful. It's amazingly impactful. And that motivates me. And that gets me up in the morning, right? And then I love my grandson, my adult children, my wife. I just, not to be all la-di-da-di-da-di-da, because nothing's perfect, but I have a pretty good life and I'm enjoying it. So I like waking up in the morning to it.
Super, outstanding. And that is an important point, and goes back to what we touched on earlier, is that a lot of people that have worked at this, they've tried some things, they've fallen down, they've gotten back up. They are passionate. They found their passion. They've moved towards it. And I want to bring that up here is because a lot of people that I talk to in my mentoring and my coaching, they sometimes they look just for the money to start. They want to do something where they can make a lot of money. And almost everybody that's been on this show, in fact, everybody that's been on this show, and it's been over 100 that I can think of, nobody gets out of bed in the morning to make the money. There's some other reason that they do it. The money comes. Yes, we all got to have money. Yes, we got to, make money to get along, to get through the day. But that's not the reason. That's not the why. And I really appreciate your answer there. So thanks again. Really appreciate your sharing and being on the show. Time to wrap up a little bit here. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience that might benefit them before we wrap it up?
Absolutely. And I love your point about, keep going on even though you fail, even though you fail. In fact, I co-authored a book with 30 or 29 other authors. It's called Unwavering Success. It's available on Amazon. Just search Alden Porter III, Roman numeral 3. And that's the stories are all about how to get up and go one more time and succeed. My story is the lead chapter in my book, but all the other stories are awesome, right? And then you can visit coachalden.com. That's kind of a summary of everything I can do. I can help businesses in a great way, right? Mm-hmm. And then, I have a variety of different ways. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. You just search Alden Porter, the Roman numeral 3, Alden Porter III, and there I am. And then from there, of course, there's a variety of ways to contact me. I have a website, alden3.com. One of the things I had to learn is how to get into the social media world. It wasn't necessary. I worked at a large corporation. We were our own world. Yeah. Right? And so in my day-to-day work life, I just worked in my own world, in my corporation. So that's been a great education, and I'm loving it. And Ted, thank you so much for inviting me to be a guest. I truly appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And I will make sure that all that contact information, your website and your book, is listed in the show notes and the description for wherever we place the audio or video of this. Really, thank you again, Alden. Really appreciate it. And thanks everybody for listening in. Really appreciate all of you. Have a safe and productive week and be the very, very best at whatever it is that you're doing. Until next time, this is Tad Stevens with Micro Success Secrets. Bye for now.